Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your comedian, Jared Christmas. Good evening. Hi, how's it going? Hey, today, this episode is all about performance technique. You've created your jokes, you've found your inspiration. Now, let's perform it. Did you see how I walked on there? Confident. Yeah, knew what I was doing. That is a big bonus. Act like you know what you're doing and be confident. Now, the nerves are going to kick in. Of course they are. But you can actually use those nerves. Take some deep breaths and the energy that's buzzing around your body, try and channel it. Try and channel it. That energy that's buzzing around your body, try and channel it and use it. Performance techniques. What I'm about to do now is show you 3 ways of walking on the stage and saying hello. Try and see which of the 3 is the best way to do it. Okay? Here we go. Hello. It's really good to be here. That's number 1. It's really good to be here. That's number 2. Hi, it's really good to be here. Thank you for having me. Number 3. What do you reckon? Easy, isn't it? It's number 3. Coming on confident, smiling, looking at people, and saying hello. And a great attitude to have when you're on stage is happy but humble. I'm happy to be here, but I'm not being a massive show-off about it. Unless that is the character that you're playing, that is your persona, then absolutely go to town on it. That first one, the audience wouldn't have any confidence in that person whatsoever. Head down, not looking at them, mumbling. Nobody believes that person wants to be on stage. The second one, I didn't even know where the audience was. I walked on backwards. I mean, it was an exaggeration, but be aware of where your audience is. And stand-up comedy is all about smashing down that 4th wall. Don't be afraid to look at people. Don't pitch your delivery up to the back of the room, which maybe they get you to do when you're learning acting techniques and Stanislavski and other people. Stand-up is about eye contact. Stand-up is about communicating with your audience. Don't be afraid to look at people. I mean, don't stare at them. Just one person all the way through. Unless that's what you want to do, then absolutely go to town on it. Performance techniques. Before we even get to performing, though, there's one technique that you really need to master. Rehearse. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. You've got to know your jokes, your material, your attitude. You need to know it forwards and backwards. Practice in your bedroom. Practice in the mirror. Look at those facial expressions. Practice, practice. You've got to be bulletproof, because as soon as you step out on stage, there's bright lights, there's people, there's noise. Nerves can kick in. But if you were properly rehearsed and planned, it's all up there. And you will have less chance. There'll be less chance that you'll get lost and flummoxed and move all over the place. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. I cannot emphasize it enough. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Now, I'm going to give you a proper top secret tip from the comedy world. Leave your best joke till last. Your second best joke, chuck it first. All right? That's what you got to do. Fill that middle bit with the stuff that you think is all right, think is funny. Because if you end on that big one, that's what people are going to have left in their minds. They're not going to remember the mediocre one in the middle. Leave your best joke for last and start with your second best one. I shouldn't have told you that. Performance! What else can you add to your performance to make it stand out? Can you play a musical instrument? I can't, but maybe you can. Add it in. Can you dance? Add it in. Can you fall over really well without hurting yourself? Add it in. Can you sing? Add it in. All of this stuff goes towards you having a unique show. You want to see someone who can do physicality like crazy and enhance the performance? Check this clip out from Terry Alderton.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now reenact my wife and I arguing over the finances in our house. Tonight she will be played by my left hand, and I will be played by me. So this is my wife and I arguing over the finances in our house. Thank you.
Winner.
Terry Alderton, the master of the physicality. He set the scene and then he acted out the routine. He acted out the joke. It's great. Can you do accents? I've proven that I can't, but it hasn't stopped me. But if you can, then it can really enhance a routine. Check out this great bit of stand-up from Jen Brister.
My favourite word that my mum's never been able to pronounce is my brother's name. It's not even a difficult name, his name's Stephen. I don't know if you've noticed this, Spanish people, any word that begins with the letter S, they struggle, right? So my mum doesn't call him Stephen, she calls him Steven. What's his name, Mum? Steven. Is it? Isn't it just Stephen? Even if I know his name is my son, it is Steven!
How simple is that? It's all about her mum not being able to pronounce her brother's name properly. It's brilliant, and the accent enhances it even more. What is your routine? I'm going to give you an example of a routine that I came up with, and I'm going to tell you how it came about as well. So, I've got a routine about the movie Saw. Now, these are R18 films, so you probably haven't seen them, but the movie is just called Saw. So, years ago, I did a film review show, and I interviewed one of the actors from one of the Saw films, and I just came up with something I thought was quite funny as a question. And so I asked him, do you think the creators of the Saw films called them Saw so that people could say, hey, did you see Saw? Nice, simple. The actor did not like it, did not appreciate it, ended the interview straight away. But it was in my head, wasn't it? So I developed that into a routine of saying, hey, you know the Saw films, do you think the creators called them Saw so that people could say, hey, did you see Saw? Yeah, I saw Saw. Did you see Saw 2? I saw Saw 2 too. Did you see Saw 3? No, I saw Saw 4. Why'd you see Saw 4 before you saw Saw 3 for? All of that came from just one simple line that the first time I used it, someone hated it. And then it grew into that routine. So don't be shy about a joke failing the first time. Keep trying it, keep tweaking it, keep building it. Performance! The important thing with me saying those words all the same, like saw this, did you see that, seesaw, I had to rehearse that, and I rehearsed it like crazy. That Terry Alderton clip, you know he rehearsed like crazy on that. Jen Brister's accent, you know she spent her entire life doing that accent, rehearsing and practicing that accent. Rehearse! Practice! Performance! Use everything that I've given you, even all the way back in episode 1. Those warm-up techniques. Move your lips around. Get everything up here moving and working before you step out on stage. Look, there have been times where I messed up. That saw routine, even though I knew it, I messed it up a few times, but you move on from it. And you know the only way to get better is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Perform at any opportunity you can. Wear something comfortable, or at least wear something you're comfortable in when you're performing. Unless it's your character to wear something uncomfortable, then wear that! Don't be the best dressed in the room, but don't be the worst dressed in the room. Unless that's the character you're doing, then wear that! I've contradicted myself a lot in statements like that. Do this, unless it's your character, then do this. That's because it's stand-up comedy. As I've said before, stand-up is anything you want it to be as long as it's funny. Sure, somewhere in the past, some people might have said being weird for weird's sake isn't funny. But then along comes the mighty Boosh and Andy Kaufman, and suddenly it just breaks open a huge new realm of comedy. Be yourself. I can't stress it enough. Be yourself. Unless you're doing a character, then be the character. But ultimately, you want to be original. So write from the heart. Write what you find is funny. Don't try and write what you think someone else might find as funny. Whatever makes you giggle, I guarantee it'll probably make a lot of other people giggle as well. Good luck out there. Send us your clips.